Okay, and so now we're live. Hey everyone, this is Sarah Hawkins from True North Business Management, and welcome to Ideas to Done. A couple of times a month I talk with people who are doing exciting things about how they get things done in their business as well as in life. And today my guest is Jackie Zukerman of JZ Enterprises, and my camera is going haywire here. Let's fix that. And I know it's of JC Enterprises. She publishes Next on Scene magazine, and so I invited her on today, and there's an example of it. Yeah. I invited her to talk with us today about what it takes to publish a magazine, among other things maybe, but I think that there's a lot to talk about there. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to I'm going to cancel sharing my screen here. I'm going to hand it over to Jackie Zukerman.
Thanks so much, Sarah. This is so fun. I'm really grateful for this opportunity. So basically, of course, people even question, like, how does a magazine even start? So I never in a million years would have ever thought that I would start a magazine. I have a background in public relations and event planning for like over 10 years. And when I relocated to Boston from New York, I'm originally from New York, I found that there was a missing market for startups and small business media. So when I relocated, I didn't have any contacts with the Boston Globe or Herald, and being in PR in New York, you know, having connects to New York Times and all these things, it was very hard to come here not having those contacts. So I started networking, and I ended up starting with a radio show. So I have a radio show. And it kind of grew, and my clientele grew, and I started to connect with startup and small business media in different states and different areas in Boston, because I love giving back to the local community, right? So I was looking for my local clients for PR work, and I would place them in local magazines, different radio shows and all that stuff, and I found that their quality was terrible and they were never on time. And as a publicist, that really, you know, affects you because it reflects you at the end of the day, you know. Mm-hmm. So I decided that I was going to create my own, because it would be on time, it would be good quality, and I wanted my clients to be represented how they should be without being stressed that nothing would ever be delivered for them. So that's how my magazine came about, and my radio show. I watched YouTube videos, and I literally launched it. I launched the magazine in May of 2016.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So you said you watch YouTube videos. Is that that's how you learned how to do the content and how to publish? Cool.
Yeah, YouTube is amazing, especially because I feel like it's very hands-on. It's like Zoom. Like, you and I are in different areas, but we're talking right now, you know, like, it's so cool.
That's right. We both are in Massachusetts.
Right.
Yeah. And with your magazine now, this is what, your fourth issue that you're about to publish? No,
this is my...
No, it can't be. If you told me, my math is terrible.
It actually says it on here. Issue 8. I don't even know.
It's a quarterly. Good. I feel less bad. So it's a quarterly. It's a quarterly publication.
Yes, it is. And we're nationwide. We're nationwide. We're not just in Boston, but our main clientele is Boston because our hub is here, but we have clientele in California, Chicago, New York. I mean, we are totally nationwide.
So how do you do that? How do you, like, what's the I mean, there's so many pieces in this, you know, like what direction to go in with all the questions about publishing a magazine, but there's...
Totally. So I think the first step, like I said, is to really check out, like, for my sake, like, because I was working with startup magazines, I was looking at what they were doing that I didn't like. Like, what were they doing that totally stood out to me that I didn't like? And the first thing was they were never on time when they told me that they had deadlines, and their quality was terrible. Like, it was never organized, and like that totally threw me for a loop. I was like, this is not professional, you know? Yeah. So that was the first thing. So I always recommend checking out your competition, see who else is out there, and then see what's missing. Like, what is a missing void that you feel passionate about? Mm-hmm. And I feel like I found that people that have startups are fascinating and really good people because they're starting from the bottom and they're looking how to like get themselves out there. And like, those are the people you want to work with because they're good people. Not that people that are successful aren't good people. Everyone's good people. But when you're starting at the beginning, you're really looking for advice and you're looking for like ways more, you're a little more lenient in the beginning than you are once you're more established. I've just learned, you know, but that's where I found was a missing void. And even celebrities, I mean, I work with a bunch and they're always doing new ventures, you know, like writing new books and doing like new ventures of skincare line and all of these different things. So like I help promote them with their new ventures. So that's the premises of what I do. Like I showcase what's next for you. Mm-hmm. That was the missing void that I found was missing, you know? So it's not celebrity gossip. It's literally like, what are you doing that's awesome and new and fresh that we can share? So that's how it started.
Oh, that's cool. So next on scene, what's next, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Very cool. Very cool. And so you got started because what was there wasn't up to your standards. And so you're like, I can do this so much better. And then you talked to see like what people would like, and you started putting that out there. And so how do you put it out there? It seems like barriers to entry are a lot lower these days when you're talking about digital stuff, right? So you and I talked about this ahead of time. You're like, oh my God, it would be so much easier if I didn't do print too.
Right. Well, print is cost effective, you know, because everything is so digital now. But I still feel that the actual digital, like airports, when you're going on an airport, people read their Kindles, but they still read magazines. And that to me is like, that's one of my goals. Like I want to just be in all the airports because I feel like they will always get read in print, you know. But in general, I find that social media is really the blossoming point of my brand because you connect with people from across the world, not even the country, like all over the place by joining different groups, seeing what they're looking for, you know, not being too salesy, but almost asking them, you know, like, how are you looking to get your brand out there and how can we help you, you know? Mm-hmm. So that's where I found like has been really beneficial with networking with people I wouldn't have otherwise. Of course, the face-to-face is always a good point of contact, but you and we met through social media, right? So that's how it works. It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, you know, I always give plugs and say one of the things, not a plug, but I like to explain to people how like I met my guest and like how they came to be on the show. And I actually had, you know, someone who had to reschedule due to a family emergency. And so I needed a replacement. And so this is like a shout out to, you know, online groups, right? I mean, I'm on Facebook a lot, but mostly what I do is in groups because I like to make those connections. And so I posted in the group where Jackie and I are fellow members, and a common person said, "Hey, this is probably Jackie," and so then you and I connected as a result of that. So, you know, and you've already said this, it's really important, you know, when you're doing your own thing and you're not like working in an office or you don't have a big organization, it's really important to get out there and make connections.
Exactly. And I would even say like, because networking is so big now, I feel like it's the new resume, like joining meetup groups, going out and meeting people at just meetup events, but networking events of any kind. I mean, Eventbrite has been so amazing for my brand too, because it just gives you a lot of outlets to just go out and meet people all hours of the day at any time, you know.
Just check it out.
Yeah.
Eventbrite has really, I mean, you know, talk about something that's like evolved over time. It used to just be, you know, a place where you sold tickets for a thing. And now it's really become a place where you can find a lot of events, what you just said, any time of the day or night. So the actual process of putting together your publication, like what is that like? How do you manage all the things?
There's so many people,
I know.
Right? So I think you first need to figure out like what your genre, like what you want to focus on for the coming season. And you need to plan that out like at least 2 to 3 months, if not 5 months in advance. That's why they do editorial calendars, because it allows publicists and people to reach out to you in time with leads of whatever they want to get featured for their clients. So I also recommend getting on different platforms, like looking where publicists share their content of their clients, because by finding out like who they're promoting is a really good resource as a media person of what you want to feature, you know? So for in general, like Cision is amazing for both sides of the platform. It's great for media outlets and it's great for publicists because it allows publicists to find the media people, and it also allows the media people to find the publicists. So that's a great resource that I've used now for a while.
And can you repeat that? What was the name of that?
Cision. It's CISION. It's great. Okay. So that would be the first thing. And then obviously social media is another way to just generate leads of content, of, you know, advertising and all of that stuff. So that is the first part. Then you need to take the pieces and put it into a product. So I use Canva to build my entire magazine. It's a free graphic design platform. If you don't know what that, I'm sure you do, being in the world. Yeah. So I build mine on Canva. And it only allows you to do up to 30 pages. So I create multiple magazines, really. And then that's how I put the pieces together. But I have a few people that write for me, so they send me in content too. And then you have to figure out the layout, right? So like the white pages, what color fonts do you want? What kind of font do you want? What pictures do you want to put in? Like, it really is all of the like little details to make it whole. And another thing that I learned throughout this process is everything that you do to put in any type of print or digital magazine needs to be a royalty-free organic photo, and you need acceptance of whoever that's from. So they have plenty of like stock royalty-free websites. I know Pexels is a great one. Pixabay is another great one. So I've always utilized those resources outside of the people giving me permission for their photos. Like when the celebrities send me their photos, it's okay with them for me to use them. And you just always need permission, basically. So those are the main general pieces. And then I would say the actual product itself takes at least a month to 2 months to put it together. But I mean, depending on how many pages, like this past issue took me a little less than a month because it was about 32 pages. Okay. But yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. And then once you figure out the layout of the design, they have other apps too that you can use to create the layout of the order of the pages, like what page you want to be page number 1, what page you want to be page number 2. Oh, wow. So people don't think about those things, but like that's a really significant thing to think about. So that's basically how I put it together in a general consensus, and then I send it out to the printing company, and then I get it within like 2 weeks.
So show us another one of those like shiny magazines.
It's coming out next week.
Next week. So wow. Yeah. So it's the winter version, and that's a pretty
close up.
Yeah. Very exciting. Oh, bridal expo coverage, General Hospital star. This is wow. Got a lot going on there. Yeah. When so this is coming out next week. It's a quarterly publication, and if people want to find the print magazine, where I know you said you have it, it's out there. Where could they find it?
Yeah, totally. So you can order it on demand online.
Okay.
So if you go to nextonscene.com, it's available. You can subscribe and, do that online. And then I also, in Boston, I have events every time I launch an issue. And it's a way to get more people in one place at one time. So I have both. So the people that come to my events always get a copy of the magazine at my event.
And what's
like
this
launch party? The launch party of every new issue, basically.
So wait, a launch party is coming?
Yeah, if you're free, Sarah, come next Tuesday.
Tell us. Oh, it's Tuesday? Oh, shucks. Yeah. I don't know. I have to, Tuesday, I think I got something else going on, but let me know. We'll have to, and actually let everybody know. Is this open?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. It's next Tuesday, 6 to 8:30 in Somerville at Warehouse XI. You can see it on Eventbrite.
Okay.
So it's a holiday pop-up shop, but my giveaway gift is I'm giving a copy of the magazine upon attendance. So that's what I do. I have an event and then I just give them out upon that.
Wow, that's a great process or method. It's a great method to get things out there, and then also to just people associate your magazine with a good time, I would think.
Love that. That's great.
I would think it's, I went to this event, I had a great time, I got this magazine, and this whole brand you have going on. Good
No,
stuff.
totally. I didn't even think about that. But I think the whole reason I even thought to put two and two together is because I had an event planning background for so many years. So I was like, combine all these things in one place. And to be honest with you, a lot of the times in my events, a lot of people that are there showcasing are in the magazine. So it's like a live magazine on some level too,
Oh my God, that is just so cool. Anyway, I love that. I just love that. It's like, it's a live magazine. So so everyone gets to meet the people that are in the magazine.
Exactly.
And
I mean, the people from LA, only certain times, but in general, the locals can meet the locals,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And so for the digital version of the magazine, that obviously you can find that on your website.
Yeah, you can totally find that on my website too. And I always share on social media, like throughout, in between issues, I'm posting new content from each magazine every day. So that's...
What format is the digital version in?
It's on Issue.
It is on Issue, okay.
Yeah. I found that's where I found most of the people put their, even like the really big ones, and I do the most readership on there.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And so do you create anything on Issue, or do you just upload the original?
You just upload it. I mean, you have your own platform. Like I have a Next On Scene page, and then all my magazines are on there basically.
Okay, cool. And so in terms of advertising, or is this magazine free, or do people need to pay for this?
So because I'm a one-woman show, all of it is paid.
Okay.
So every page in the magazine is paid for.
Okay.
Because printing is so costly. Yeah. So it's pretty awesome though. I mean, every issue now, like the company makes money. Like we literally are like promoting to great outlets now where like we are having enough content to pay for the magazine's every issue. So it's great.
That is really exciting. And you have advertisers as well.
Exactly. Yeah, we have ongoing advertisers, and they usually partner with us for our events and the issues, which is another live magazine show. Everyone's there where it's at,
Yeah,
so it's cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And so you also do podcasts.
Yes.
The Next On Scene show. Is that what, am I calling it the right thing?
It's called Next On Scene with Jay-Z or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's what it's like. My thing is like Ideas to Done. There's not like the Ideas to Done show. It's just Ideas to Done. So cool. And how often does that happen?
Probably like 3 to 4 times a month.
Okay.
So we do, every show is live within 24 hours, and we do social media promotion prior and post the show. And then we do a blog coverage on all of that. So it's pretty awesome. I mean, we have 208,000 listeners. So it's really good.
208,000?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
And so people, I'm going to be on Jackie's.
In January.
In January. So 208,000, that's a nice exposure possibility. Yeah. So very exciting. And kicking off 2008. So what's happening? What's in 2008? What are you looking forward to?
2018.
Yes. you mean 1983? It's
right. You're so funny.
2018. What are you looking forward to? Like, what's like a big goal for you this year?
I've been doing side hustles my whole life, and I'm officially breaking off January 2018 and focusing purely on my business. So I'm really excited about that. Of course I have the standard nerves I was telling you before the show, but I think it's going to be great because I'm making money part-time. I can't even imagine what I would do full-time.
What a fantastic leap. And so you officially did that this week, right?
Yeah, I put my notice in, so I'm going to start leave in January. So
my God. That's an exciting way to begin 2018, not 2008. That already happened. 2018. So I know Jackie needs to sign off at 12:30. So we have about 10 more minutes for that. So I see we have Dorothy Salvatore, who, AKA Dosa, I don't know, just because I know her. I don't know if there's any question that you have, Dosa, or if you want to just remain incognito. We can give you a second to unmute, or if you need help unmuting. Just give her a sec.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Yeah, all right, we're good. So, she's you're unmuted. Hey, Dorothy.
Hey, Sarah, how are you?
I'm well, thanks. Good to have you with us.
Thank you. It's great to listen in. So I'm just enjoying. Thanks.
Okay, great,
Oh,
great.
Dorothy, great to meet you. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Yeah, Dorothy Dorothy is a photographer among other things. So
Cool.
Yeah, she takes really excellent photographs and very active on Facebook, sharing what it is that she is up to, and so that's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So in 2018, you'll have, when is the next magazine? I mean, I know you're just going to be pushing this most recent one.
You have to plan this out.
Yeah.
I already know like the next two. So the next one will be out April 5th, I think, because I'm going to do a fashion show.
The spring, yeah.
So I'm going to launch both on the same day. And then summer, I'm getting married next summer too, on top of everything else.
Oh,
so,
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. So it's exciting, but there's a lot of moving pieces. But my gift to my guests is going to be a customized magazine of who was involved in my wedding and all of that stuff. So I'm planning that earlier. Normally I would launch probably like June, but I'd probably launch this one the 1st of July or around that.
Okay, around July, yep.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much. It's been wonderful to have you.
Yeah, this has been so fun. Thank you.
Yeah, and I just want to, so folks who are viewing this as a recording, if you want to check out the Ideas to Done live in the future, you can go to my website, truenorthbusinessmanagement.com/events, and sign up for the Ideas to Done show. We do this twice a month. My next guest will be JJ Gonson of Cuisine and Locale, and also the Once Ballroom in Somerville, Mass. She's a little bit kitchen, a little bit rock and roll. I think it'll be a really interesting conversation with JJ Gonson. So thanks again, Jackie, for being my guest today, and Dorothy for joining us. And I look forward to seeing folks next time on Ideas to Done with Sarah Hawkins. So Jackie, thanks again. We'll see ya.